Hello, Tim Nichols here. I'm sitting in my office on a rainy afternoon listening to the thunder and growing a little bit nostalgic. I like to surround myself with things that bring happy memories, like that cookie jar up there. That's sat on the refrigerator when I was a little boy. Never had cookies, it always had bills in it, but that's part of my memories. We don't always like change, do we? We like to kind of hold on to the things that remind us of the way things were. And I think that is a very destructive thing for us as practitioners and as business owners because so often the changes that need to be made are not made because we are reluctant. We're frightened, really, of change. Now, fear is a very powerful motivator, very powerful negative motivator. Keeps us from doing what we should do. We find ourselves like a squirrel in the street, darting here and there, not indecisive, not sure. Do we go left? Do we go right? And then the next thing you know, the squirrel's a greasy spot in the road because of indecision and fear. So what are we afraid of? Is it fear of change? Well, I think that's true. But what is really under the fear of change? Is it a fear that the way the change is going to impact people? Are we afraid of how the change will be perceived in the eyes of our patients or the eyes of our staff? We know we'll meet resistance for any change that we make in the office with our staff. Is that what is causing us to be anxious and fearful and use excuses like, well, that'll never work here, or we tried that before and it didn't work, or it might work in your town but it won't work in mine, but I know my patients, they would never accept that. I hear a lot of those things. And really, those are often just thin veneers over the fear of change and the fear of people. Or is it maybe a fear of failure? Is the person that we're maybe most afraid of ourselves? And that we are afraid of disappointing ourselves if we try and fail? Will we see ourselves as some type of failure? Are we afraid how we might appear in the eyes of other people if we did try and not meet our goal? So the fear of failing at a needed change causes us to stay in the present that is just like the squirrel in the road. You can't stay there. The world is changing. We know that the only constant in optometric practice is indeed change. The market is changing. The technology is changing. The whole world of optometry is changing. The only thing staying the same is that most all of our patients have two eyes, and they need you to take care of them. Other than that, it's all changed. So, what's holding you back? Are you afraid? That's not an insult to be afraid. Even the bravest among them are afraid, but the difference is they face their fears and they recognize their fears for what they are. And they move past their fears with faith and action to accomplish the things that need to be accomplished by a leader in a practice that is taking care of people to the best of their ability. So let me challenge you. Face your fears, look at them, lay them out on the table, and be honest about what you are afraid of, what's holding you back. And strip away those veneers of excuses that really have to do with just flimsy excuses that prop up your fears. Tear them down, face your fears, replace it with faith and action, and move forward.